Well, Greenbean's back up on the ramps. The other day when I came home from work, I started smelling gasoline. Look up there. I think we're leaking. So, I drove the Neon yesterday to work. Or today, I guess. I drove the Neon today to work. And, now that I'm done with work, we gotta take a look and figure out what's wrong there. Figure out where it's coming out of. I'm gonna throw a mat under there, go put on my winter suit, and we'll crawl on under and we'll figure that out, I guess. Hopefully it's something easy, because I'd like to drive this tomorrow, but you never know. We'll see. Alright, I'm kind of in a weird spot here. Let's see if I can get you somewhere proper like that. Well, what we see is it's actively dripping out of that fitting right there. So I figure we take that off, and if it's not clean, we're gonna spray some like brake clean and clean up that fitting and plug it back in, I think. Wonder if dirt's up under there or something. But look at it drip. Also, the fuel filter's been done because it's zip tied on there, so that's cool. But yeah, that's a drip right there. Interesting. Oh, now it's dripping more. If I nudge that. Almost looks like it's seeping out of the other one, too. Yeah, look at that. That ain't right. Oh, everywhere else looks okay. Oh, looks a little almost damper on that one, too. Wonder what's up with that. Oh, alright, well, I'm gonna pop that off real quick. It's just a little quick connect. I'll inspect that and see what I find. So what I found is those this whole quick connect setup, these 3 lines, that all comes with that fuel filter. So whatever fuel filter they got, because we know it's been replaced because of the zip tie right there, they're pretty loose fitting if you ask me. So I wonder if just me driving it, it's kind of rattled loose. I don't know when they did that before it was parked, you know what I mean? And just me driving it, I think I've got, it's got 239 on it now, and it had 231, so what, 8,000 miles? It's kind of rattled its way loose, but you can see it's kind of just, you see how it's wet there? It's not dripping, but it's wet. And then the right line there was wet, and then that back one is pissing now. And wiggling, I wiggled it back and forth, and it actually started leaking worse and let all of the pressure out of the lines. But I'm going to try fiddle around and find, I think I can use a quick connect to get that off, but the quick connect tool I have for that won't fit in there between the, where the fuel sending unit is and that. So I got to find like a little right angle pick to pop the little quick connects off. And then I got to inspect those. I wonder if I can get away with replacing the quick connects, or if I just have to buy a whole fuel filter assembly, which not that bad of an idea to do. We'll see. We'll see what's cheaper and what's available. But I think it's this whatever fuel filter kit. They're too loose fitting, as you can see. All right, so we're back under here, and what the internet says to do is to change this, to get up there at that 10 millimeter bolt that we don't have, we have to lower the tank just a little bit. But the guy before us said screw that and put a zip tie in it. So we thank that person a lot, because we're just going to nip the zip tie. I should backtrack a little bit. What we're going to do is we're going to replace the whole fuel pump assembly, replace the clips and everything. Not the fuel pump, the fuel filter assembly here, which is that guy and these 3 lines. Now, to do it right, you have to drop the tank just a little bit to get under there, to get at a 10 millimeter bolt that's supposed to be right there that we don't have. So that's cool. However, we have to think about, we're going to try and maneuver it around there without pulling the tank, but if we have to, we'll see about doing that, at least this strap. But here's an example of how you're supposed to pop these out. You get a little fuel quick connect. Try to shuffle my light here, and kind of squeeze them in here, and he should, if you push forward, he should pop that off. He's supposed to anyway. And I might have to do that. Nope, there it goes. Boom. And I get gas all over my hands, but that's how that's supposed to work. And as you can see, the surface of the line looks okay. I'm thinking these little, here, pull this out. I'm thinking these guys right here are junk. If I can, yeah, right here. See, that is supposed to seal your line, and I've got a feeling that it's not doing that. Now, is there like an O-ring inside of here or something? Yeah, it looks like it. So maybe that O-ring inside of there is no good either. Yeah, there's an O-ring in there, and then this kind of clips it in place. And those O-rings must not be any good. So, on top of the clip being loose, maybe? I don't know. It's not sealing, so we're going to replace it. But I think that's supposed to clip in right here, too. But, now, can I get that guy up there? I'll try it, but probably I can't. So what we're going to do is, I think it was the video I watched, at least watched a part of, it was the original mechanic, and he said, well, you're not reusing it, so just cut it off. And I thought that was the greatest idea ever, so I'm going to cut that off. You know, that's going to make it a little easier. I'll try disconnect it, but I don't think I have the room even. So, yeah, we're just going to cut them off. So I'm going to do that, and I'll show you what this looks like when it's out. If I can. Okay, so just as an update, we got that one off. I was able to get this one off right here. I cut half the clip off and then stuck a baby screwdriver and popped the other end of the clip, and I slid that one off. And then I was fiddling around with the baby screwdriver, and I broke the clip internally, which lets the line slide off, but you hit the body. So you do have to drop this just a little bit. So I'm going to pull this guy out. And it doesn't look like we're going to have any trouble. It looks pretty clean. That guy right there. I'm going to pop him out and probably have to loosen that one, but we'll try not to. Oh, well, no, this is the one I need to get out to get that line out, so. Take that one out, loosen that one. I don't know. Well, looks like I'm going to have to do that to get that guy out anyway. So we'll do that, and I will, this time I think I'll bring you back when I'm done. I think that'll be the play. And also, I think I broke my driver when I popped that loose, but it was just one of those little plastic, here, like, if I can, whatever. It doesn't matter. It was a little baby, like, micro driver, and I broke it, so. But I did get it off, so that's cool. Unfortunately, I don't want to, like, break the fitting off of the fuel pump. That would be unfortunate. So, yes, we do have to get that off, it looks like. Yeah, yep, that's what we're going to do. I think these are 15 mils, so there you go. All right, well, I got the fuel filter out. So what I did is I think I lowered that fuel tank strap out completely, pulled the line out, and then I snugged it back up just a little bit. Then I loosened that one up far enough that I was able to slip the old one off of there. We'll see if I can slip the new one on, or if I have to lower it a little more, we'll see. But I think, I don't know if you can see the mounting hole where that new filter will bolt in. I'm going to see if I have a clip and like a 10 mil bolt, and I'll see if I can bolt it back down. Otherwise, I will zip tie it like the last guy did. So, yeah. The only place that's got one in stock nearby, believe it or not, is AutoZone. So we're going to go to AutoZone and get me a new fuel filter. And we're going to slap that thing up in there and cross your fingers, hope it don't leak. So, cool, I don't know what I was going for there. Yeah, we're just going to leave it at that. Cool. Yeah, so we'll get a new fuel filter, and it should be pretty easy to slap back in there. So next time you see me, I should have it back in here, and we will fire it up and make sure it doesn't leak anymore. That would be ideal. All right, so remember how I was just gonna break those old connectors off to get them off of the fuel pump? Well, that was a mistake because the new fuel filter and lines I got from AutoZone was missing 2 of the 3 clips. Luckily, O'Reilly stocks this Dorman kit that's got 5/16 and 3/8 clips, which is precisely what these are. The smaller one's 5/16 and the larger one is 3/8. So for $7, we are back in business. But yeah, just so you know, that's what you would need if you need to replace all the clips for your fuel filter. Well, there she is. New one's in. The new clips, the Dorman clips work perfect. So we've even got that line up there, and I was able to snake that through there, through the fuel tank strap without pulling that back down. It's not a perfect fit. This is like a hair longer than it probably needs to be, but it's good enough. Got my structural zip tie back up there, and I even cut the tail off it. You believe that? That's some quality right there. I was able to snake those back on. Make sure when you put the new clips on, put the new clips on the ends first, then slide the line over them. And these fit, remember how I said the other ones were loose? These fit snug. That rubber inside there must have been wore out. Yeah, these fit snug. I don't think that's going to leak. I think we solved the problem. So I'm going to tighten up the 2 fuel tank straps, and then we'll see if she runs. All right, put tools away. Let's see if Greenbean's going to live. Terrible fan. My bag. Probably. Oh. There we go. And she's running. It's alive and it's cold. See if we got any seepage under here. Looks good to me. Bingo! Look at that. Sometimes I was reading online that it didn't look like, in my case, that was my worst thought, is that the nipples off of the fuel pump, those will sometimes crack and leak, but when I was looking at it, it looked fine to me. So, and considering how loose the connections were and what happened when I wiggled them and it leaked, I figured that was it. So, here we go. Problem solved. Fiery death averted. Oh, and I think that the OEM fuel filter is supposed to have a ground strap that goes from there to the body mount there for the tank strap, but that one didn't have it. The one before it didn't have it. So at my own discretion, I'm not going to put one on there, but yours may or may not have a ground strap, and if you have one, I would definitely put it in. But look at that, no more leak. Nice. Oh, Greenbean is alive once again. And that'll do it for this chunk of whatever clip this goes in. So, thank you guys once again. Hey guys, remember how that coil pack blew up on me a couple weeks ago? It did it again. This is the other used one I had. I never put the new one in. So I think I'm gonna do that now, but holy crap. I'm gonna shut this thing down right now. Yeah, look at that. We melted another coil pack. Was it 2 and 5 that melted last time? Look at that. Isn't that neat? All right, take 3. Brand new coil pack, actually. Feels like it's stumbling still. No, still got a flashing check engine. Huh. Wow. That's weird. Sounds better though. sure the wires are all on there, right? Yeah, it still sounds like I got a miss. Well, I guess I'll limp it home. Best I can do. Ah, there's the brand new coil pack. I might try a warranty on that one. But yeah, something's wrong with this van. Uh-oh. Alright guys, so this just happened the other day before the coil packs just melted simultaneously, but I was driving it, and me and my dad, and we had a weird misfire on the highway. And it was just for, a minute or two, and then it went away and it was fine, but when I checked the engine codes when I got home, we had a misfire, I think, on cylinder 3, and then an intermittent misfire, and then we also had intermittent loss to the crank sensor. And then it's been a week or so. I don't think I've driven the van. I was driving the Durango, but I drove it today, and we lost that coil pack, and then we lose this other one. And well, we keep losing coil packs, so it can't be the coil pack. I mean, it could, but it really shouldn't be. It burned up the original coil pack, and then it burned up a used coil pack, and now it's burned up this new aftermarket one. It really shouldn't be a coil pack. And then with the crank sensor thing, I didn't think about it at the time, but the crank sensor does it share? Yes, the crank sensor, no, it doesn't share the same wire harness, so I was thinking it did, because here's the crank sensor down here. I was thinking maybe it shared the same wire harness, but it doesn't. But anyway, this harness is pretty melty together here, if you ask me. So what I'm getting at is, I guess I thought it could have been this same harness, but the crank sensor's not. So that kind of turns my thought process a little differently here. But what I'm saying is this harness is a little melty, and so we could be getting some grounding going on here across contamination. You know what I mean? Wires are touching where they shouldn't be. And so that would require replacing this harness here, which is for the injector rail. It unplugs right here. So I'm gonna probably have to take this harness apart and look at it real good, but I'm thinking it's melted somewhere inside here. I mean, just looking at this, these wires should be apart like this. See, I should be able to separate the wires. These are stuck together. I'm thinking they're melted. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to replace this harness here, which is unfortunate, but it'd be what it be. So, but I'll have to take that harness apart, look at it real good. But I'm thinking that's got to be, at least that's the next thing in line. And it's definitely showing signs of being melty. So, ay. Well, I just happen to have a rail harness for a 3.3 and a used coil. I'm gonna borrow this here real quick. I gotta take this one off. I'm gonna go return this one, get my money back for it, hopefully. Should. But we'll go ahead and we'll replace that coil here, and we'll verify, see if the new harness will work with it or not. I'm thinking this is gonna be our issue. It sure looks that way anyway. But yeah, well, I'll bring you back when we have all that stuff in. It probably won't be today, actually. But I gotta have that off to go return it. I was trying to make a parts run anyway, so might as well bring it with. Alright, I got the original harness out. I was able to snake it out around there. This one you can get your hands on both sides to do it. This one what you have to do is kind of twist the fuel injector. It should slide over. And then this one, once you get this clip out, you get this one turned over too. You can get one hand on this side of the clip from here, and then you stick your hand in here, you can pop it off. And it does come out, so I got it out. I'm gonna strip it back, pull all the shielding off it. I'm just gonna see if I can find the short. We can already tell it's melty right here, but I wanna look at it real good and find it just to confirm. I think we're pretty sure that's what's happened. It's shorted out. But I got a harness here that we will put on once we verify everything and look at it real good. And I'll probably pull this back too and just look at it real good, but I think this one's gonna be okay. Then we'll swap the harnesses, and got a coil pack here from the junkyard, and we will throw that in there and cross our fingers, I guess. You guys want to see the problem? It's that little zip tie there. it wasn't the fuel harness, because I tore that whole harness apart looking for the problem and it wasn't there. But if you look really closely, right there, see that blue? You can see the exposed copper right there. It was grounding out on the trans dipstick because I zip tied it there and I didn't put like a piece of like tubing around it. So I'll have to pull that off, cut that zip tie off, tape that up. We're gonna have to put this donor harness on there now, and I'll have to, maybe I'll take this one inside and kind of look at the color, see if I can re-spool that other harness back together, because it's kind of a mess. But there's our problem. And that blue, I'll have to verify which pin it goes to. I almost guarantee you it goes to one of the pins for the coil pack. I mean, it has to. That's what's happening. It's grounding out. That makes sense. Damn it, guys. That was my fault. Because I put that zip tie there, I'm pretty sure. Because otherwise I didn't want it to hang on the exhaust and melt off. So, and the clips are obviously not present anymore. Dang it! Well, what do you do? We found it. Well, I got it off, all the tape anyway. Here's a better look. Right there, you can see where it was rubbing. There's a couple wires right there rubbed through. Those, all three of those blue ones, I see copper on them. So I betcha one of those is a fuel injector. So there's my intermittent misfire. And then obviously at least one of those is for a coil pack, which would cause the coil pack to short out and burn up. So we'll get this pulled apart here. I'll put some tape over all those guys because the copper looks intact. It's just touching. So we'll tape those guys up and then we're gonna wrap it. I got some anti-rubbing friction tape, and then I got this guy to go over top of that, and then we'll zip tie it to it. Well, we're all hooked up with the donor harness here. Got everything in. As you can see, I got this repaired, taped up on the inside, then friction taped, and then I got the plastic shielding over it and then zip tied, and I lost my cutters, so I don't have that on there yet. Pop the battery on. Let's go fire this bad boy up. Hopefully the used coil pack works. I don't see why it wouldn't. Please run on all 6. That would be really, really nice. 239, 722 miles. Oh yeah, we're running on all 6. Oh yeah. There we go. Ah, she sounds healthy again. Thank you, Junkyard Coil Pack. Thank you, donor wire harness. All right. Well, I'll let that warm up out here. It's been sitting for a week. It's been down for a week because of this. So. All right. Greenbean is alive and well again. And I did get my money back for that O'Reilly coil, by the way, so that's cool. Well, I'm looking at Greenbean, and I think I just blew the motor up. Checking the oil here. Looks like we're a quart low, but see some sparklies on there. Quart low shouldn't cause any issues as far as oil pressure and stuff goes, but it needs a quart of oil. But I just started it here, getting ready to leave work. Sounds a little better right now, but hear that? Like I spun a rod or I spun a bearing. I think she's done. I'm gonna try put a quart of oil in it, but that ain't the problem. It looks like there's metal in the oil. Like I spun a bearing. 240,849 miles, but I think that motor's a reman or something. It's had head work done for sure, but that sucks a lot, actually. Well, next day here. Let's see how Greenbean sounds. I added 3/4 of a quart of oil. The oil light does work, so I'm gonna watch that, make sure that comes off, turns off. Turns off, so it's got oil pressure, but yeah, it's knocking all right. So I'm gonna back it up, line it up with the trailer, and we'll winch it onto the trailer. Well, she made it home, so I'm gonna unhook the trailer. It's probably gonna sit on the trailer for a couple days here till I get to pulling the pan off. I probably don't want to pull the pan while it's on the vehicle still, or on the trailer, because I'd like to, you know, get it off the trailer under its own power. But it's muddy as can be right now. Straps all stayed nice and tight, so that's a good sign. Yeah, it's muddy as heck. Anyway, I gotta go get the block to put the hoist on, so then I can drop it off the truck, because I drive the truck tomorrow, I think, to work. So, all right. Well, that's a shame, but we'll get her back on the road at some point here. Probably sooner than later. Well, it really depends. Depends if the crank's okay or not. I'd like to just roll a set of bearings in it, but we'll see. We gotta take it apart and see what's wrong first. Well, time to drive Greenbean off the trailer. It's hot in here. Let me roll the windows down. Battery's still good. Oh, that's all she wrote. Ugh. Oh, it's getting worse. Oh, fuck, the winch is still hooked to it. Hang on. Oh, false alarm. I hate it. Alright, second try. Oh, you poor thing. Hey, watch the muffler.
Straighten it out.
Okay.
Straight back. Looks good on this side.
How's the muffler look? We clear?
So far, yeah. You made it.
Okay.
You're good.
All right.
Straight back.
Down you come. Sounds good, don't it?
I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like a lower knock though yet.
It definitely is. Oh my God, that's terrible. I hate. Move, dog, dog, dog. Henry, get out of the way. You poor van. I gotta get it lined up here. Alright, straightened out in the driveway. Got the other string bean and eggplant sitting right there, so fitting to pull next to them. Alright, drive it up on ramps and drop the pan. Okay, got it running up on the ramps. Let's listen. Oh yeah, bottom end on this side. Oh yeah, that's bottom end. Sounds good. All right, we're good to shut off. Don't want to run it anymore. We're gonna drop this oil pan and we'll figure out which bearings are bad. All right, who's ready to see the sparkles? Should have this ready to drop out. Hopefully I don't get oil over myself. Well, it's kind of gray, kind of silvery. Just a little bit though. Yeah, see, it's kind of gray, but not too bad. It's mostly brown. Oh, we'll see what sticks to a magnet in there. I cleaned the oil pan out real good before we fill it up here. Not much metal. There's just a couple little chunks here, so I think most of what's in this pan here is aluminum, which means bearing material and not crank, which is a good thing. There's definitely chunks in there. So we'll pull the pan out and figure out what it actually looks like. But yeah, it's a little bit metal, but like not too much. I think it's mostly aluminum, I think, which is good, or non-magnetic, put it that way. Well, I got the oil pan dropped here. I haven't looked inside of it yet, so let's see if we got any big chunks or not. No, but you see the gray streak? Oops, spilled a little bit, not paying attention. Definitely a little bit on the bottom of the pan, you see it? But no chunks. So I think we might survive this one. Let's go underneath and let's see if we can find the one right away. Alright, here we go. Oh. Okay. Nothing there. Nothing there. Oh. Might need to rotate the engine up and down. Maybe that one right there. Oh, I just got dripped in the eye. Stupid pickup tube. I think that's side to side play. I think I can see it going up and down. Definitely that one right there. That one right there for sure. And I think that one. I'll bring it back. Well, I'm not gonna lie. I really can't. Oh, let me get under here quick. Find too much play anywhere, but one thing I did notice when I'm turning it over, it really does not feel like it has all that much compression on most of the cylinders. So I don't know what that tells us here. But yeah, I mean, I guess I really don't got all that much choice other than to pop the caps off and take a look, and then probably do the bearings. What I'm going to do is I will take them off one at a time, see what the bearings look like, put it back on, get it just tight so I can spin the motor over, go to the next one, take it off, look, and we'll just get a good idea of what they all look like. And then I will order up some bearings and we will do the process again, except when we take one off, we'll replace the bearings, torque it, go to the next one, replace the bearing, torque it, go to the next one, replace the bearing, torque it, all the way around. I did notice though, I think that timing chain's got a little too much play up here. You can't really see, there's a lot of slop in that chain. So I think this motor is a little tired. It's funny, is it had a lot of work done to it. It's got a, I think it at least had somebody did heads on it, because it's got a warranty sticker on it, and the heads do look a little cleaner than the block. But I think she's tired. But we'll see. We'll see what we can do. I'll bring it back if I find anything new. Okay, so this and fourth one across, I don't know what cylinder it actually is, but this is, if you go from passenger side to driver's side, this is the last one. This one in the picture I took in number 4 about the worst, and really, I don't look all that wore out to me. So if it's not rod bearings, what is it? But this one, it's got a little wear on it, but I don't think that would make rod knock. So I'm not quite sure what's going on now. Now I'm stumped. We got a lot of play in the timing chain. It kind of, and I can't kind of guarantee it, but it kind of feels like low compression on a few of the cylinders, and we always had that intermittent weird miss sometimes. What is that? What does that say? But it really sounded like this was coming out of the oil pan or the bottom end. So yeah, you got me confused here. Gotta do some thinking now. Well, we might be getting closer. This is the third main cap from the crank pulley. Third out of fourth. And the bearing itself is, there's material there, but look at that gouge. Now the crank side looks fine, but something gouged the heck out of that bearing. So, but the bearing, I don't think that would cause a knock either, to be fair. But we'll slap that back up there for now. Pull the other 3. See what we find. Well, here's main number 4. Look, this one looks pretty good. But one thing I should note that I've seen on all of them is whatever engine work was done to this, it was definitely the heads, because the bottom end, these are all original bearings. I think all of the rod bearings were 10 and 96, A400, and these are 1196 main bearings. So they look okay. A little bit of contaminants in there, but that one's okay. So we're going to do the front 2. And after that, I have no idea, because the flex plate's fine. That's not broke or anything. If that's timing chain slap, I'm going to be absolutely livid. But, we'll see. We'll see. I'm running out of ideas here. But it can't be just timing chain slap, because there's metal chunks in the pan. Not chunks, but non-metallic metal. Unless it's the chain grinding a hole in the case. I guess I'll have to shine the flashlight up there and look real close. But yeah, that one looks okay. Well, here's number 2 from the crank pulley. That's a fun looking bearing, isn't it? But see that discoloration there? What do we think about that right there? That's a little suspect. If you ask me, that's wear, I think. On both sides. I would say that that's a possibility right there. I'll look at number 1. We'll see what that looks like. Because I thought the noise, wasn't it on this side? Towards the crank pulley anyway. So, we'll take a look. Well, here's number 1. Number 1's got a really bad score in it. But the bearing itself, I don't see where it would knock. But here's number 1. Got a bad scrape in it. Crank looks okay. Number 2, I think this might be our guy right here. That's got a wear mark in it pretty bad. That one might cause our little noise. And then number 3, if you remember, had a scrape in it too. Number 4 seemed fine. So 3 of the 4 main bearings are junk. So I think we're going to throw mains in it for sure. But where's the material coming from? So I don't know. I'm going to really look up there. And I mean, all the cylinder walls looked okay. Seemed like there was cross hatching everywhere. Didn't see any scoring in there. It looks like all the cylinders were there. We don't have chunks. You know, all the, you know, the pistons didn't fall apart. I don't quite know at this point, guys. I'm at a loss here, but that one is suspect, like real suspect. It's about the only one I've seen that had any real wear in it. Well, got everything tightened back down. No, I didn't torque any of the stuff up there on the bottom end. Got 2 bolts in the oil pan, got it up there for now. I think I'm gonna, it needs main bearings for sure. I think I'm gonna price out mains, and then I'll price out some rod bearings since we're in there. But I took a picture of that number 2 and I sent it to you guys in community posts, so I'm hoping some of you guys come through and let me know what you think. I think that could be the noise, but I'm not certain. And the rod bearings look fine, but I don't think that's where any of the little bit of metal shavings, I don't know if that's where that came from though, you know what I mean? Where did that come from? That's where I'm at right now, is I don't know, like, for sure what that noise is, but you guys heard it. I don't know, what do you guys think that was? Let me know. We're gonna call it at that for now. So, thank you guys for watching. I'm sure there'll be a part 2, 3, 10, whatever this is. We'll get this motor running again, I think, in some fashion. Whether it's still knocking and just drives into the shed, or it's good to go, we'll see. Stay tuned.